CASSIE knew it. So the students who are being recognized in today's ceremony, this morning as well, have the most points. So we have 1,300 kids on campus, and we're honoring our top 167. They had enough points to qualify for a Cougars Rising patch. Before we award individual patches, I'd first like to honor and recognize two very special students in the Cougars Rising program. Their names are Sonia Saini and Angel Gomez Pena. Will you two please join me on stage? Here gives out 4 Cougars Rising cards, and they put a personal message for your student on there, and then a bracelet that goes with it. And each month we celebrate a different word. So if you guys see in September, for instance, we recognize students who are showing community. In October, we recognize students who are optimistic, etc. But students are also recognized just for being good human beings, academics, sports, JROTC, ag, the arts. And it's really special to have those moments in the classroom and outside where a student is recognized just for being awesome. When students earn one of these cards and bracelets, they also earn points. So the students who are being recognized.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and congratulations to our Patch Award winners today. This is quite a big deal. I just want to talk about a few things before we go into the awarding. 3,840 times. 3,840 times a staff member presented a student with a bracelet of affirmation to a student on our campus. Okay? And I think that goes without saying that we're committed to highlighting the good in our young people and the things that actually are taking place and what's going on our campus. And parents, to your right are the students who were not just one of those 3,840, but times how many extra opportunities or awarded from teachers because of their contributions, in turn receiving the Patch Award today, this morning. We created the Cougars Rising program to, again, highlight and affirm young people and staff and community members. So encouragement is vital to adolescents' development and adult optimal health. In other words, I think we know as adults, students, you too, words really do mean something. And how we use those words can mean something even more. And if we use those words in a positive way, you can impact and inspire somebody to do things that they may have not believed that they could do themselves. I'm going to give you a personal example. When I was a 3rd grader, I was pulled out of my classes because I struggled in reading. Reading was very difficult for me. I was pulled out of some special ed setting because of reading. And so being pulled out in these classes, sometimes that can be difficult for students, especially at that young age, because when you struggle, sometimes people poke at you a little bit. So I remember going home to my parents and I was like, I gotta get out of this class. I just feel dumb. Can I get out of this class? My parents were just encouraging and said, get better at reading. You can do this. You'll be all right. Stay at it. Now, it's one thing if you have your mom and dad saying it, right? You know what I mean, you guys? Like, mom and dad are going to build us up. They are family, and family members are going to build you up. But it's a different thing sometimes when somebody else, maybe who's not related to you, says something. So here's my personal example, and it's very simple. I remember going back into that class, getting pulled out, and it was a paraprofessional in that class, and he basically said, hey, this is all he said, you can do this. And so, as a high school principal who I've been at some higher levels of education, but I often reflect back and I realize, like, the words of somebody in their position impacted me, and I'm standing here as a high school principal to tell you that you guys can do this, right? You guys can do this. So, what I will say is, and what I'm going to give you guys is what I always do, because I always think when there's a message, there needs to... I did it 3 times the last assembly. This is my first one. You guys can keep track. I'm going to give you guys a challenge. And I also want to draw some... I'm going to give you the challenge first. The challenge is this, right? So I see many seniors out here, okay? And I see you guys and some underclassmen. You're going to be in positions in the future to either lift somebody up or do the opposite. Society actually makes it much more easy to do the opposite. It's easy to tear down. It's easy to gossip in. It's easy to spread rumor. What's hard to do sometimes is when you see somebody that's struggling, or you see somebody who's alone, or you see somebody who might just need that extra little nudge of encouragement to tell them, like, hey, you guys can do this. So the challenge to you guys, as you're here because you are seen and noticed, you are in that top 10% of students. In fact, our last assembly we had an hour ago, it was full. It was full with students and parents. We had to do 2. You're here because somebody believed in it, not believed in you, but noticed what you do. But the challenge is, what do you do with that, right? What can you take beyond a patch that stands for character and contribution and getting involved? What can you do? Well, it's real simple, right? Look for the good. It's out there. And if you keep looking for it, it's actually easier to find than the bad, because the bad's everywhere. Look for the good, focus on that, and we believe, and I have Cougars Rising team behind me, we believe that we're going to continue to focus on our students and this community and the things that are happening for the better, and highlight those things, because this is the place to be, and that's Western Ranch High School, and you guys are a huge part of that and the success. We have 30 staff members that are part of the Cougars Rising program. And it's from academics to athletics to arts, so on. We go on and on and on. So I have so many people behind me. Cougars Rising team, Cassandra Hill, Christina Filippini, Ms. Riley, Ms. Chavez, Ms. Sandoval, Mr. Allred. I can keep going on and name the other 25 of our counselors and our community, Cougars Rising community, who bring community members in and our staff members to highlight, because there's a lot of highlight that needs to happen here at Western Ranch that's been missing for a lot of years. And we are committed, our team's committed to continuing to do that. And we're very excited for the future. And it's these young people who are setting the bar for that future of success based on how they carry themselves. Have teachers sometimes come up to me and say, Mr. Fast, that right there is a Cougars Rising student. All right? But I also want to say this, right? You're going to fail too, okay? And none of us are perfect. You're going to make mistakes. Just learn from them. That's all you can do. Learn from them, get better, grow, and give back with the power of positive affirmation. Congratulations, patch winners of 2023.